Joe Labbe here as part of Star Nation's live stream shows. We're broadcasting through Be Live TV, which goes out into beautiful Facebook land. So welcome to the show this evening. We're having a shorter show than normal because I did this little pinched nerve thing. So I want to make sure that I have enough energy to give you what you need. So we're going to do card draws for about 45 minutes. So I may not get to your card if you put in your request late, but I'll do the best that I can. And tonight we're going to use, the Art of Love Tarot deck. And this one is by Denise Jarvie, and the art is by Tony Carmen Salerno, who's like my favorite oracle artist at the moment. So we're going to get started so that I can hold on to my stamina. And as I do this, if you have a friend who usually listens to the show and maybe comes in after the meditation, I encourage you to send them the link or a message through Messenger or something just to let them know. Because I'd hate for them to miss out if they're used to coming in and getting it. But we'll do the best we can, just as I said. And as always, all you have to do is type in yes, please. And we will make sure to pull a card for you in the order that we get them. And it'll be a little bit different in the broadcast studio than you may see in your news feed. So just hang in there to the best of your ability. Let's get going because I know time's a fleeting. So the first card this evening is for Cindy Lynn Krantz. So here you go, Cindy Lynn. This is the Force card. This is one of the soul cards, and this is part of what your soul needs to do right now. What part of what your soul is learning to do, part of where your journey is taking you right now. And that is to call on the inner strength that you have. Sometimes we think of force being sort of that pushing over or having force over someone. It's actually more like Star Wars. It's like call on your inner energy source, call on the source of the universe to fill you and give you strength. And in this particular deck, it also is calling on the angelic realm to help fill you. So because Tony, the artist, has a lot of connection to angels and does beautiful depictions of angels. So make sure that as you are going through some of your life's trials and lessons right now, that I invite you to call in all of your spiritual team, however you call in the divine energy, and don't forget to have the backup of your angels and the guardian angels, and ask them to fill you with the courage and strength to get through the lessons that you're going through. And this is a great one for all of us. And remember that the soul cards are not like just this week. This is also the this is for the next few months because your soul's lesson will take a little bit. So I'm just going to send a little message to Neshi. I got a message from Maureen saying that the screen may be frozen. So can you check on that and see if that's true before I pull the next card? So I hope that makes sense, Cindy Lynn. And if the screen, did it freeze?
No.
Okay.
No, it didn't. So Maureen, what you need to do is refresh your screen. I'm watching it on my phone and your video is fine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Maureen, just give it a good refresh and hopefully that'll work. All right, sweetie. So the next card is for Rob. And so Rob, your card is the Nine of Angels. And so the Nine of Angels comes in when, we've got stuff that we're going through and we need a little backup. Sometimes it can be a little difficult on the heart, or it's just what I'm feeling is there's like a little bit of emotional upheaval in the next week. Doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just reminding you that your angel, especially your guardian angel, has your back. So I invite that energy to surround you and protect you. And that's something that we all can do as well. If we've got something a little difficult that we've got to manage, an uncomfortable situation, the end of the year can be very tumultuous, and the end of the decade can have a lot of significance. So make sure that you call in your guardian angel again to help surround you, protect you, and help restore any energy that you may be needing. So those angels are coming in tonight. So I hope everybody's listening to that. All right. So Angie, let's do your card, sweetheart. So I'll do yours first and then I'll do Lori's. So yours is the Ace of Stars. And the aces are gifts from the divine. And so the Ace of Stars is inviting in a lot of creation energy for you right now. So what do you want to create in your life? Do you want a new job? Do you want a new home to live in? Do you want to create some wonderful textiles or paintings, or because it's all sorts of creation energy. And we need to channel and focus our intention as we're doing creation. Otherwise, we end up spreading it all over the place. I'm sort of seeing like this, you've got it in a trash bag and it bursts and it kind of goes all over the floor. So what do you want to create? And whatever that is, you've got a ton of energy and a lot of divine flow to help with that. So if, for instance, you're looking for a new place to live, what I would invite you to do is get really specific about it. Like, how many rooms does it have? How many bathrooms? How far away is it? How much money do you want to spend for it? What does it feel like, smell like, taste like to be there, and feel how happy you're going to be there. And this is true for whatever it is. Like, really see as much of you in it as you possibly can, because then that gives your spiritual team a really laser focus on how to bring your creation to life more quickly. And if you have something very specific like that you want to create, if you have someone like Lori who could focus on it with you, you can co-create it and it'll come even faster. So I invite that for you. So Lori, your card, dear, is the 10 of Hearts. And the 10 of Hearts is a culmination card. It means whatever you've been going through, it's ending. It's run its course. It's over. It's done. So if you can open space in your heart, in your awareness, in your thoughts, that whatever's been going on, you don't have to go through it anymore. It's done. It's done what it was meant to do, and you no longer have to go through that. And again, you have Angie there who can hold that intention with you. It's allowed to be emotional. It's allowed to really stir things. But remember, don't look at the past of what has been, but look forward to the future of what you can create, because this energy will no longer be draining you. I feel like it's been sucking the life out of you, and that's no longer going to be the case. So you can really use the new momentum, the new energy to push forward in a brand new way. So that sounds beautiful for you, dear. I can't hear you.
Sorry, forgot to unmute.
Okay.
There's more people having some issues. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a hard refresh. Okay.
Okay.
And so guys, audience, that just means that we're going to be gone just for a moment. Okay.
Be back.
Okay. Hopefully that did it.
Hopefully it did. All right. I hope we're getting through to people. It's one of those things. So the next card is for Lisa Crawford. So Lisa, your card is the 9 of Trees, my dear. And the 9 of Trees is one of those cards that's about really being in that space of having a lot of energy and a lot of ability to give freely to others. And in that place, it's being noticeably aware of like how you're giving. I'm thinking what I'm sort of seeing as a picture, it's not sort of, what I'm seeing as a picture is Mother Nature and you being like Mother Nature. So sharing with the people around you, giving freely, but also not getting depleted. So notice how you can be in that gracious place and in that sharing place and how that works for you. Because it should fill your energy rather than deplete it. And that doesn't mean, overextend yourself. It doesn't mean volunteer for things that you don't want to do. It's being able to do little things that go a long way for a number of people. That seems to be a big theme as well recently is we don't have to make grand gestures. The little ones really add up. People really take that to heart and it fills them. And that's part of being in the space where you are. It's like you're sending out little love notes to different people energetically and allowing them to feel that and take it to heart. So enjoy that. All right, Jacqueline. Your card is one of the soul cards. It's the turnaround card. Some people get a little nervous because it says revolution on it. But the soul card about the turnaround is, things have been going one way for a while and it hasn't quite been working for you. And so basically your soul lesson right now is to know when to call it quits and to do an about face and do things completely different. Sometimes that can be this big, tumultuous, dark night of the soul kind of thing. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling more of you have a choice coming up or a few choices. And in that place, you get to say that you're going to do things differently, that you're going to choose to put yourself first while still honoring your connection to others. But in the past, you've really, a lot of us have a lot of mom energy. And so we put our kids first, we put our family first, and then there's no time and space for ourselves. So for other people, that may feel like an about face when you start to say, no, I'm going to do this for myself, or no, I've overextended myself and am tired, so I need to take a break. Whatever that looks like for you, that turnaround energy, other people may feel like you're revolting or you're rebelling, but you're really just stepping into your personal truth. And other people may not be used to that, so you might get a little, like a little friction on that, but just stay the course because this is part of your lesson. It really takes a lot of inner strength and determination, but usually you've only got to do it a couple times and people get the point. So I invite you to do that. All right. Maureen. Hopefully we've got Maureen clearly. Interesting. Your soul card is the Emperor, my dear. The Father energy. So what I'm getting for you is that you are, as part of your soul's lesson, there's a twofold message right now. Number one, you're clearing some of your father energy. And what I'm seeing for that is not just your father, but like divine father and any men who've held sort of a divine father role for you. where that energy has been, it's been loving, but it hasn't always been what you hoped for. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It's been a little bit regimented and it's been a little rigid. Remember, this is the emperor energy. So they're not always, pick you up and hug you and smushy kind of thing. So there's a little bit of that. It's a very small piece of it. The other piece of it is that it's time for you to stand in your divine masculine energy without going into that rigid place. So taking on the father role as head of household, while still holding the softness of being a feminine woman. The emperor rules with nobody, people can ask, but the emperor's rules are final and there's no disputing. So maybe there's some laying down of the law that needs to happen a little bit. And so you need to call in that energy of the emperor to hold you and to show you how to do that. I'm also hearing sort of off to the side that you can visualize a female pharaoh because the ones who did that really held that ability to rule in a very deliberate way, but they still held on to some of their femininity while they did it. So there you go. That one's for the next few months, by the way. Kimberly Griffiths, glad to have you here. So your card, my dear, is also a soul card. Yours is the retreat. So it's inviting you at this moment as part of your soul's lesson is to know when you need quiet time. Know when you need to do some inward contemplation. If things aren't working for you, maybe make a list of what you would like to change or what's just simply what's not working. And then invite the energy to come in to shift that. There's a lot of shifting energy around beliefs that no longer fit us, patterns that no longer fit us, ways we sabotage ourselves that no longer fit us, and even things like our health and well-being. If our health isn't what we want it to be, then sometimes it's time to go into a contemplative state with automatic writing and ask your spiritual team, okay, what do I need to do to be my most healthy self? If that's something that's out there for you. So that's what you are being called to do at the end of this year, to sort of round out the decade and look and see what things worked for you, what things didn't work for you. And don't be afraid to also, as you're doing this, applaud all the things that you accomplished, because lots of time we focus on our failures, not on our accomplishments. And they're really saying it's time for you to look at the positive of that too, because you've really done quite a bit. All right. Have a great one, my dear. Judy, your card, my dear, is the 3 of Stars. So the 3 of Stars is all about vision. And the visions is, this is the energy for this week. So I'm seeing a lot of like flashes of aha moments and ideas and sparks of creativity. And this is going to happen in a very sporadic way. It's almost like mini fireworks. I encourage you to write down as much of that as you can, because lots of times those ideas come in, we're excited, and we don't write it down. And then 3 hours later, when life has gotten in our way, we don't remember what they were. So you're going to have these sparks that are coming in because it's meant to ignite the fire inside of you to take some steps to doing things different and really expanding who you are. And so you're going to get little glimpses of that in the next week or so, which makes a lot of sense as we're heading into, winter solstice is coming up. The full moon is on its way next week. So there's some good energy for some creation, inspiration to pop through, and really open your heart and your possibilities to let that come in and take root. That sounds great. All right, Julie Hedges. My dear, nice, the 10, the wheel. And in this deck, the wheel is so interesting. It's as part of the tree of life. And the wheel is very much to me like the wheel of fortune. And as the wheel of fortune, you take a spin, but everything on it is winning. There's no bankrupts. And what I see for you is, as part of that, there's a lot of breakthrough energy. So it's like you take a chance, you spin the wheel, and you hit the jackpot. So it's this you take a chance and boom, everything falls in place for you. Those leaps of faith that we're called to do, sometimes on a regular basis when we're spiritual teachers, but this one is a big, it's not a big leap, it's a little leap, but it's a big payout. It's like, phew, when you get through, like you feel everything fall off of you, and it feels like all the hard work is finally paying off. You're seeing some results because of it. There's this sense of, oh, you finally got through that wall. And yeah, so this is what's going to be happening for you at the end of the year. It's not just this week. It's the rest of the year into maybe a little bit of January. So take some chances and see what it leads to. All right, Jackie Long. I can't ever say your last name, sweetie. Najadowski. I think that's right. So yours, sweetie, is the 9 of Hearts. I don't think I missed Jackie Fitzpatrick. I'm looking. No, Jackie Long. She's next. So yours is the 9 of Hearts, sweetie. And this is all about stability. And that's really great, because when you are calling on the energy of this week, it's saying that you're going to be really grounded, filled with love, and able to feel steady. So no matter what comes at you, you're going to be able to handle it. You're going to be in that space of, yeah, I got this. And you're going to really feel like you've got this. And so that grounded energy, I really feel, is going to allow you some space to blossom, especially from other people's view of you. So they're going to see you as somebody who's stable. They're going to see you as somebody who's got their back. And you're going to do it completely effortlessly. So just hold on to the heart energy and allow that heart to ground you. And you'll sail through this week beautifully. So that's great. Have fun with that. All right, Mary. So Mary, your card is the Shadow card. This is one of the soul cards. Don't freak out. I know she's got the horns and everything. But the Shadow card is kind of what's happening for all of us on the planet at this moment, which is we're being invited to look at times when we don't stand in our integrity. And not that you do that. It's just a matter of other people around us do it. And it's so hard sometimes not to go there with them. If somebody's complaining and being negative, it's hard not to go there. If somebody's worried and fearful and creating all this fear, like, oh my gosh, Chicken Little, the sky's going to fall. It's hard to be the voice of reason. But that's part of the soul's lesson, that as the shadow comes out and is in your face in other people, their negativity, their fear, how do you manage it? How do you hold your truth? How do you shine your light on the shadow so that fear doesn't attach itself to you or negativity doesn't attach itself to you. And it's something, again, that we all have to do, but it's also very prevalent on the planet at the moment. There's a lot of negative talk, negative spinning. And it happens because, we're also in a phase on the planet where we're heading into the darkest night. And as we head into the winter solstice, it sort of invites more shadow because we have less light. So in that energy, how do we stay the light and not go into the fear-based place? And that's part of your soul's lesson for the next month or so. And so know that we all have that challenge, and do the best you can to stay in your heart as much as you can. And recognize when you spin into negativity, and maybe who helps you get there most easily. Often it's family. So pay attention to that, because that's a wonderful lesson to work your way through, because we all have to do it. All right, Anne, I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. Well, not water, decaf. Tonight it's decaf in my Winnie the Pooh cup. So, Anne, your card is the Queen of Trees. And I'm not surprised that you get this card, because the Queen of Trees is very much, she's, again, isn't this interesting, the stable female nurturer. We've been hearing that, stable female nurturer. And so as part of this, your energy this week is to hold that for others, because a lot of people are feeling shaky, because as Mary's card was showing, there's a lot of shadow energy out there. And so when we don't go into shadow and we keep shedding our light, we can hold space for people who get unsettled by it. And we can send them love energy, or as my friend Renee would say, we can love them up, love them up and, send them on their way so that they're filled with joy and love and feel good about themselves. They feel supported. And that's a really key role that needs to be played right now. And I am very thankful that you're one of the few who will be doing that, because we need that. So it may feel a little daunting that, you may be the phone a friend that a number of people call for support to get through things. But that's just your job this week. And so send lots of love energy out to help calm the nerves and the anxiety and the worry that might be coming up for others, because you got this and they've got this. All right. Thanks, sweetie. So Carol, your card is the Empress. Nurturing mother. Sensing a theme, right? So the Empress energy is a little different than the Emperor, because the Empress is soft and gentle. She still has that very stable, strong, rooted energy. She's still very nurturing, but she doesn't take anybody else's baloney. So your soul's lesson right now is to stand in that stable place, really hold space for others, but don't take anybody's baloney. And that's not how my team is saying it, but I'm going to say it that way because we're on, live. So as part of that, there's an Empress is a lot stronger than a queen, right? Because it's more than a queendom. An Empress is often multiple, continents or whatever that she has underneath. So it's a very strong, determined woman that nobody messes with. And so that's the energy that you need to hold as your lessons are coming at you at the end of the year. And I'm hearing that for a lot of us. So I hope we're all paying attention. Strong feminine power, nice and stable, and don't take anybody's baloney. Said once again. All right, my dear. So Margaret, This is a card I probably would draw right now. So your card for this week is the Rest card. It's the Four of Angels. And what it's saying is you need to take care of you. You need to take some time to rest. If you need a nap, take a nap. If you need to turn off your phone, turn off your phone. There's an overstimulation energy. Maybe Thanksgiving kind of wore you out because you were doing, which many of us do. But now you need a little bit of quiet time, calm time, a little time to retreat, allow your body to replenish. So the Rest card, when it comes in, I often see, a lot of water drinking, tea drinking, snuggly blankets, but technology turned off as much as you can, because that overstimulates us, even when we're just searching, and looking through Facebook. Sometimes that's too much for our brain. Like, your brain needs some quiet time. And just in general, lavender works really lovely to calm the energy down, to calm the nervous system down. So putting lavender on your, spraying it on your pillow, or using it in your shampoo or in your shower, or in your bath, that all will help. And I also have a lavender honey tea. It's a yogi tea that I really enjoy because it really brings my energy back to center. So take note of that, because if we don't rest when our team is telling us to, then we often are sick or injured. To take the rest. And take it from me, that's not the way to rest. All right. Andrew. Hello, sir. Glad you made it. So yours is the Moon card. It's 18. It's one of the soul cards. And I love the moon. I'm a moon goddess. But the moon, when it comes in as part of the tarot deck, especially in this one, is that it's reminding us that we can be the moon. We can shine the light in the darkness. And a lot of people who are in fear, they cast a lot of dark. And often in the dark, we see all of these illusions. So it's kind of like when you were a kid and the lights were off, and you thought there was somebody sitting in the chair in the room with you. And when you flipped on the light, it was just the way you'd thrown your clothes on the chair. That's the illusion that can be happening. So as part of your soul's lesson right now is to shine your light in places where other people may be casting shadow, casting illusions. I'm hearing smoke and mirrors, some people are like, here, shiny thing over here. And then they're doing something on the side, which makes sense, because we were just talking about the shadow energy being out there and different ways people are meant to approach it. Yours is to not be afraid to be in the shadow energy and cast your light, but to point out when others aren't in their integrity, when they aren't being truthful, when things aren't quite right. You're meant to show the illusion, illuminate the way for other people so they can find out for themselves. And that often means we need to use our throat chakra and our heart chakra to do a lot of truth telling, because that's the pathway to the light. And it's also a time to look at places where we cast shadow and we cast illusions, because sometimes we have times where we're not completely truthful about things as well. So pay attention to that. All right. Abigail. Hello, my dear. So yours is the Queen of Hearts this week. And what this is calling on you to do is get out of your logic brain and use your intuition. Straight up. You know how this is. Sometimes we get spinning in our logic brain, and we get thinking, and we create all these scenarios, and you have a very creative imagination. And I love you for that. But that can cause a lot of spinning, right? And that can make it hard to focus and stay grounded. So what I'm hearing for you this week is, how do you tap into your intuition without processing it, without second guessing it, and just use that to guide you? And remember the Queen of Hearts. She's very emotional. But she's very open with her emotions. So this is saying, let your heart lead the way, and that's the way that it's going to be. Stop thinking about things so much, because you're just creating all sorts of things from your thoughts. Because again, when we want to create something, we want to focus our attention on it and focus on the positive. It's hard not to get caught up in other things, but for you to get grounded, you to get focused, part of it is to shut down the brain completely and listen to your intuition and let it guide you. And anytime that inner voice critic wants to come in and second guess your intuitive sense, give it a cookie or something. Put it over in timeout. Put the dog in the crate, and listen to your heart, because that's what's going to lead you. All right. Troy, nice to have you here, Troy. So your card is the Six of Trees. And the Six of Trees is all about receiving. Many of us are really good about giving. We give to others, we put others first, and we really focus on, this is the season of giving. But sometimes we don't receive help very well. That can be really difficult, saying yes to somebody who offers help. And saying yes can sometimes be even harder than saying no. And in this place, it's like, we tough it out. We do it ourselves. I got this. I don't need anybody else. Okay. But, even Jesus had 12 helpers, right? So why would you not take help if somebody offered it? So I'm inviting you to look for opportunities to say yes to receiving help, receiving assistance. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're needy. It just means you're human. And sometimes we try to overdo, and then things don't go as well as we would like. So, when somebody offers help, find a way to let them help. It's one of the most powerful things you can do as a leader, is to let goes. All right. Madonna, nice to have you, sweetie. Beautiful energy for you. So the soul card for you for the rest of the year is the High Priestess. And so the High Priestess is, again, a very strong feminine leader, but she has a much stronger spiritual side to her. She is in divine relationship. But the High Priestess is very balanced between the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine energy. And she really taps into, kind of like I was saying for Abigail, how do you allow your intuition or the divine energy to guide you? And sometimes that's a leap of faith. And I said that to somebody else earlier. Sometimes I think it was Julie Hedges. Sometimes we have to take that leap of faith to trust the divine and be open to more possibilities than we can even imagine. And so as that, when you stand in the priestess energy, you are a conduit. You are a channel for divine energy to flow through, which I know you know as a writer and artist and a creator is how my team is talking. You're a creator. And so in that creator energy, how you allow the divine energy to flow through you. So as you're sort of moving through this next, ending this year and heading into the next, how can you allow that energy to come through, flow through, and expand your connection to spirit? Because there's room for more. There's always room for more. And I'm seeing some beautiful creation flow because of it. So lovely. We could all use that. All right. I think it's Kimberly, but I thought I did her earlier. I did do her earlier. So Antonia Wilson is next. So Antonia, nice to have you. Your card, my dear, is the Star card. So the Star card, again, is another one of our soul cards. It's one of the major arcana, which means this is something you're working on for the next few months. And for most people, I'm feeling like it's the end of the year or into the beginning of the new year. And so the Star card is all about you shining your light, you being the star, you being the center of attention. And when we shine our light the way we're meant to, we fill other people with hope and inspiration, and we are a guide for other people to step into their truth, to their authentic self, their authenticity. So what I'm feeling for you is, really allow yourself space to take center stage. Really step out of the shadows in terms of being no longer being backstage. It's time for you to step out on that stage, to be seen, to be heard. And how can you really show who you are in a fuller, brighter way? Because that's what the universe is calling for you to really just shine. And when we do that, we give other people permission to do the same thing. So it's not like we're hogging the stage from somebody else. There's a stage out there for each one of us to stand on. But sometimes we have to overcome some of our own energy of resistance to putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable. But it's really inviting you to do that and really inviting you to step forward and shine your light. Because it brings hope and inspiration to other people who maybe aren't in a place to shine their light quite yet. So get out there and do it, sweetie. We need you. All right, Christina McGlue. So your card right now is the 9 of Stars, that perseverance. Of course it is. This weekend is school, right? So as you go through the school energy, it's inviting you to, you're going to get through it. You may have a lot of emotional energy coming through. It may be a battle you're going through within yourself, but you're going to come out the other side. You have a lot of perseverance. You have a lot of energy that can make it through. But it all needs to come out because, it's that energy of, there's a lot of this trudging energy, like powering through things. And there's a few things that you've said yes to that you need to power through. And so the difficult part is we have to find the ways that those things that we said yes to that we can't change, how do we find joy in them? How do we not feel like they're drudgery? How do we feel like they're not work, basically, so that we can get through them and not feel like we're surviving? So just be noticing the way that energy comes up where you feel like you're just surviving day to day. That's an illusion created by your ego. So how can you bring your spirit in and shift that perspective. You're going to get through it no matter what, but the struggle is really that your ego is creating this more difficult situation than it needs to be. That's how can you bring spirit in to lighten it, brighten it, and find joy? So that's what I'm hearing. We'll get you through it. All right, my dear. See you this weekend. Jackie Fitzpatrick. There she is. So yours is the 6 of Hearts, dear. So the 6 of Hearts is just letting you know this week you're going to have some energy that's connected to your past. And so that happens a lot at the holiday seasons. We have old memories that come up, old energy that comes up around that. But so you're going to have some stuff around your past that's going to want to be cleared this week. And don't dread that. Invite that, because the past can have some beautiful memories attached to it, but it's also opportunities to heal things that didn't maybe go the way we wish they would have when they were occurring. If we're holding on to that, wishing it would have, that's taking up space. And maybe it's the art of letting go, that you can see the past and go, wow, I just did the best that I could in the moment. And I can let go of all the negativity and the self-blame, or blaming someone else for something that happened that maybe they did their best, and it just wasn't what you hoped or expected. So just pay attention to that, and be careful, because when the past energy comes up, it can stretch our energy field into the past, and we have some trouble staying grounded in the present moment. So just pay attention to make sure that you're really grounded as you go through this energy of reflection. All right. Dinah, your card is the 10 of Angels, my dear. So the 10 of Angels is like, all right, it's done. Time to surrender. And not in a I give up kind of way. Surrender is when you hand it over to the divine and say, look, you run the ship right now. I've done everything humanly possible. Now it's time for the divine inspiration to come in, take over, and show me some other possibilities. And it's a really hard thing when we have that leader, that feminine leader energy. We struggle to the end, but some things we got to just let go of. It's not going to change. It's not going to shift. And so we go, all right, come in and show me a different way. Because I often say when that's coming in, I'm getting in my own way. Can you I invite my team to come in and show me a different way, because I can tell I'm getting in my own way. And when we invite that energy in and we allow ourselves to get quiet and we sort of give up trying to put more energy into something that's not working, then the divine energy can swoop in and show us some other possibilities. And often they're really easy and not as much force and struggle and making it happen as we've been doing. So there you go. All right, Lindsay June. So Lindsay June, yours is the 10 of Trees. So the 10 of Trees is very grounded, and your heart is very loyal. And you look for loyalty from other people. And it's really a beautiful gift of yours to see the good in other people and expect them to see the good in you. So what I'm hearing for you is that, you have your tribe to support you. They're here for you. They're standing for you. They're helping you remember how to be strong and stable. But also that we have to choose. It's an interesting way they're kind of trying to put this. So we have to choose where we put our loyalty. because sometimes we're loyal to people or things that they're not loyal to us. We put way more in than we receive. And so you have this really loyal heart in your friendships and your relationships and in your commitment to different things. You're extremely loyal. But does that give you loyalty back? Whatever you're giving out, are you receiving it as well? And if not, then that's something to look at. But you have this beautiful loyal heart, and it can get twisted and used by others. So I'm inviting you to look for who's giving you the love and the loyalty back, and that's who you can count on. All right, we got you. Julie, Shumway Hill. Yours is the 4 of Trees, my dear. So you're going through a period right now of growth. And this is a nice card because this has a lot of homecoming energy as well. So as part of this growth, it's like you're starting to really settle into Julie. And even though you may be stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, maybe tackling new things that have, are pushing your sense of self, it's all even smaller than you already are, is what I'm saying. It's like you feel like you're really pushing the boundaries, and it's like the boundaries are really 100 feet out. So you're just awakening into who you really are. So this week, really see the ways you can push yourself out of your comfort zone and allow space for Julie to become more fully Julie. So I see like this tight little bubble around you, a personal bubble, and like you're pushing on it gently in every direction, and that's allowing you to stretch more fully into who you are. Mwah, love that for you. And Jacqueline Coster, 7 of Trees, my dear. This is the contemplation card. We had one of these earlier. So this is telling you that it's a time for you to get quiet. It's a time for you to really reflect. It's the end of the year. Think of all the successes that you've had, all that you've gotten done, all of the positive things that have happened for you, and anything that didn't happen in the way you wanted it to. How do you rewrite your creation? How do you shift it? How do you make something new? It's not about failure. It's about opportunity to try something new, try something different. But really focus in the contemplation on the positive as much as you can, and creating more positive for you to create in the new year, especially. But there is this need for you to have a little bit of quiet time. So there's a number of us who need rest and quiet time, a little bit of intuitive going inside and listening, and that will help us get some clarity and to move forward with more purpose and determination through the rest of the year. And thank you guys for sticking it out with me. That was the last card. Sorry to cut it a bit short, but I got to take care of me. And that's where that rest card comes in. So with that, I, hope to see you guys next week on Chakra Sessions on Tuesdays at noon, or here for Soul Connections at 7 o'clock, where normally we do a meditation with the readings, and I hope to be back to that next week. But I want to send you guys out with thank you for helping me do my spiritual mission, which is to heal the healers. And I get to do that by sharing my gifts with you and helping you get out there and be yourself. So with that, everybody, have a great night.